Welcome to another episode of the Influential Experts Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Hicks, and today we'll be speaking with personal injury attorney Henry Queener, discussing the potential obstacles in navigating the aftermath of a car accident. Henry Queener is a dedicated car wreck lawyer whose personable nature shines through in his dedication to his clients. He is renowned for his expertise in handling auto accident lawsuits with a focus on securing maximum money damages for his clients. And he's recovered millions of dollars in compensation representing individuals injured in various vehicle accidents. Henry, thanks so much for agreeing to come on our show today.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, great. Well, should we go ahead and dive in?
Yes, let's go.
Great. So, what we do in these interviews is we take a lot of questions that people submit. These are frequently asked questions that a lot of people ask personal injury attorneys that they need help with. And these are some of those questions. So our first question today is, in the instance that there's a rear driver or that you're rear-ended, who is liable in a rear-end collision?
Great question. A lot of times people say, well, it's automatic. If you got rear-ended, the other guy is automatically at fault. And that's not true. The truth is you got to look at the whole situation. The law looks at the whole situation. I mean, in places like Nashville or Lexington or Louisville, you get cut off all the time, and if some guy cuts you off and then you can't stop in time to rear end them, well, even though you were the one doing the rear ending, the other guy probably bears most of the fault, if not all of it. He's the one who cut you off and you couldn't get stopped in time. Going down the road, we often experience people who misjudge and they pull right out in front of us. And then you get an impact there. And the question is, who's at fault? Well, in that case, it's going to be probably 100% the person pulling out's fault because you had the right of way. So just because someone rear-ends you doesn't mean the other person's automatically at fault. The law looks at the whole set of facts.
Interesting. Yeah. I was speaking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he was talking about how he had, suffered an injury from a car accident. And I asked him if he had spoken to an attorney about it, and he said, no, this was about 4 or 5 months ago, and it's too late to speak to attorneys to an attorney. I think that's a common misconception that people have. How long after a car accident can you file a lawsuit?
This is probably the area where you get the most confusion because every single state is different, and some states, the way they go about calculating that is pretty straightforward, and other states, it's pretty complicated. In Tennessee, it is 1 year from the date of the wreck. There is a little tiny exception, but 99% of the time, it is going to be 1 year. Best practice anywhere you are is talk to a lawyer inside that 1 year window. Now, in Kentucky, it's a little more complicated. There's a formula, and the formula is 2 years from the wreck or 2 years from the last time a PIP carrier made a PIP payment, but in no circumstance more than 4 years from the wreck. So it can be kind of complicated to calculate it. So in Kentucky, best practice is think about that first year, getting to an attorney that first year to ask questions, figure out if the attorney is going to be a right fit for you, is going to be able to help you out. But Tennessee, 1 year, Kentucky, 2 years. Just broad brush.
Now I know, the insurance companies, they're not going to wait a year to give you a call back. Usually they're going to call you, the day after the accident. And you might get a call from, your insurance company and also the negligent parties insurance company as well. Should I speak with the negligent parties insurance company as they keep calling me?
Well, yeah, they're going to be calling. That's true because they want to get that claim closed. No, I would encourage you to talk to an attorney before you talk to the other guy's insurance company, and before you talk to your own insurance company if the other guy does not have insurance. So if the other guy doesn't have insurance, then you're going to use your own insurance, and it's called uninsured motorist coverage, and that's in both Tennessee and Kentucky. And I'd be careful talking to the other guy's insurance, and if he doesn't have any, talking to your what we call UM or uninsured motorist carrier. They're going to ask you a lot of questions using words that you don't understand, trying to get you to answer yes or no to different words you don't understand because you haven't read your insurance policy. You haven't read the law, and so you don't know. I had a client one time, the insurance company called him up and kept asking him, "Well, sir, did you have the automobile garaged upon the property?" And he didn't quite understand what they were saying, but eventually he said, "Well, yeah. I mean, I sometimes have it in a garage." And they were done with the interview, hung up, and never called him back again. When I went and looked at that insurance policy, then I started figuring out what this garaged upon the property meant and what they got him to agree to they didn't realize. You
Hmm.
know, it's like sitting down to play chess with someone who makes a living playing chess every day. You're unlikely to do very well against someone in chess who's paid to play chess every single day. So why don't you go talk to a lawyer and see, is this something I need a lawyer for? Am I good to talk to the insurance company about it? Another situation where talking to an insurance company can get you goofed up is you were in a stressful event in a moment and you may not have been back to that scene of that wreck. And when they call you up to ask you what happened, they may already really precisely know the measurements of things and what took place. And they're just trying to get you to say something that'll give them a basis to deny the claim. Like I represented a young lady one time who was in a car on the side of the interstate and and she was pulled completely off the road. Her car was completely on the shoulder and she still got rear-ended by a tractor trailer. She told me that her car was 8 feet outside the travel lane. That I don't know about that. So we went back out to the scene and looked, and it wasn't possible for her car to have been 8 feet outside the travel lane. Your memory in a stressful event isn't perfect. You need to go out to the scene, check the scene out, look at your car again, maybe look at pictures, refresh your memory before you start talking to an insurance company about what happened, because they're only talking to you to get little statements out of you that they can use to get out of paying a claim. You're playing chess against someone who's paid to play chess every day.
Yeah. What type of damages will a car accident settlement cover?
Uh, let's see. Retail prices of medical care,
Hmm.
property damage to the vehicle, um, how a injury or set of injuries affected your life. It can pay a lump sum up front for future medical care if it's confirmed by a doctor. It can pay for reduced ability to earn money into the future. Uh, but just importantly, what will it not pay for? It's not going to pay for mileage to and from your doctor's office. It's not going to pay for future medical care as that medical care occurs. It's not going to pay for time off from work for going to doctor's appointments. So people sometimes get really mad when they find out the law doesn't actually cover all the losses you're going to have. It only covers a certain set of them. And so you can sometimes look foolish talking to an insurance company, talking about how much mileage you've had going to doctor's appointments and demanding that. And the insurance adjuster's laughing at you under their breath, going, "Oh, yeah, this guy doesn't have a clue what he can actually get money for and can't." If you're
Mm,
playing chess, you better brush up on your chess skills or hire somebody who does play chess.
right. Yeah, those are good points. I also think that a lot of people are unaware that, and a lot of times, their social media accounts are being monitored. How can social media activity impact the outcome of a personal injury case, and what precautions should be taken to avoid jeopardizing the case through online interactions?
First, everyone sets their levels on their social media accounts, who can view them, who can't view them. Some people lock them down, some people leave them wide open, and it can have a big effect on a car wreck case what you find on social media accounts. One time I represented a person whose claim was denied. The insurance company said they had a statement from the other driver, who is a young lady, who said, "No, it wasn't my fault at all." Her social media account was wide open. You could go online, anybody could view it. And there it was on her social media account, these interactions with her friends about how the wreck was all her fault.
Hmm.
You cut and paste social media and you send it to the insurance company and go, "I think your insured might have lied to you because she's telling all her friends it was all her fault."
Hmm.
Yeah. on the other side of that coin, you know, you can be really, as the hurt person, the person who got hurt, you can get really mad about that. And you can go on your social media account and say, I'm going to sue that guy for everything he's got. I'm going to hire the meanest lawyer and sue him for everything. And then if that's out there for the insurance company to find, well, you were mad you said that. The insurance company's going to say, look, this guy's not actually trying to be justly compensated for the wrong that was done and the damages and the medical bills and the future medical bills. He's just trying to cook stuff up to get at some guy who he's mad at. They can twist your social media words and posts against you when you say things in the heat of the moment, like "I'm going to get that guy." Also, social media is our best life, right? I mean, we go on social media and we paint on a big smile and we take a picture of ourselves or a little video snippet, and that trying to show the world that we're living our best life. If the insurance company gets their hands on that, they're going to say that's proof positive that you're not ever in pain. That is how you are 24 hours a day. There's nothing wrong with you and we're not paying. And so social media is often not a true, accurate reflection of your life 24 hours a day. It is just you in a moment in time when you're painting on a brave face, trying to show the world that your life is really going well. And then the insurance company uses that against you to say that's an accurate reflection of your life all the time. So after a car wreck, when you're hurt or after any injury, be careful what you post on social media, because sooner or later an insurance company might get their hands on it and might say, yep, there it is. That's how you are all the time. Because that's what insurance companies do. They gather little bits of information and they put them together in a certain order to create a story or a fact pattern that is what they need for it to be to deny your claim or pay very little on your claim.
Mm-hmm. You know, I know quite often people get in small accidents and, you know, there might be some physical damage to the vehicle, but they feel fine. But however, they wait a few days later and they're not feeling so great. But I know during the course of an accident or immediately after an accident, a lot of people will waive their, I guess, their ability to go to the emergency room. Should that person, you know, in the case of an accident, should you go to the emergency room or should you wait to see how you feel in a few days?
Go to the emergency room that day or wait and go the next day. But that's the window within which you need to go get checked out, get peace of mind that you're okay and you're going to be okay. That's what the emergency department is there for, is to make sure you're okay and you're going to be okay. If you tough it out and you wait 3, 4, 5 days a week and then realize I'm not getting better, I'm worried about that, the insurance company will use that against you.
Mm-hmm.
They will say that is the gap in treatment. If you were hurt, you would have gone day 1 or day 2. You waited 7 days before you went to an emergency department. You presented to the emergency department with, and you actually have an injury. Well, they'll make up things at that point. Well, that wasn't caused by our car wreck. You must have fallen off a ladder. You must have fallen off your front porch. There is some other reason that took place in the 7-day window. We're not paying your claim. So toughing it out creates a fact or a situation that the insurance company can use for its benefit, use in an attempt to deny a claim, which is you weren't hurt in the car wreck because you took 7 days to get there. And if you truly are hurt at the emergency department, it's verified by scans, well, we'll just claim it wasn't part of the car wreck. There was time for you to get hurt doing something else.
Yeah. You know, I'm blessed a lot, Henry, to be able to travel all over the U.S. And a lot of times, no matter where I'm at, if I'm driving down I-75, I'm going south to Florida, I'll see the same attorneys on the same billboards, you know, in various different states. And I'll turn on the TV and I'll see their ads, whether I'm in Kentucky or Tennessee or Ohio or Indiana or Florida or Georgia. You know, these are, I guess, what you call big box law firms. What is your opinion on whether or not one should hire a small local firm or a big box law firm for your personal injury case, and which is better?
You're hiring a lawyer. Okay. So hire a lawyer. And when you hire a lawyer, make sure he's a lawyer who does a lot of whatever it is, whatever legal service you're needing. If you're needing a will drafted, hire a lawyer that drafts a lot of wills. If you're in an automobile wreck, hire a lawyer who does a lot of automobile wreck cases in the location where the wreck took place. practice makes perfect. You get good at something by doing a lot of it. That's true in the medical world, and that's true in the legal world. That's true in almost anything. In sports, you get better by doing lots of it. And so, hire a I don't like the word firm. Don't You're not hiring a whole firm. You're hiring a lawyer. Hire a lawyer, and hire a lawyer who does a lot of whatever it is you're needing.
So when I see these big law firms that say they focus, they're the number one car wreck law firm in, the United States, to me that sounds like, I'm getting an army of personal injury attorneys on my team. But is that always the case? Like, is bigger always better?
Oh no, no, absolutely not. At the end of the day, though, you have a lawyer, and
Hmm.
that you have to be comfortable with that lawyer, comfortable knowing that lawyer has a lot of experience doing whatever it is he's doing. So if you hire a firm that has 100 lawyers, but your lawyer is 3 days out of law school, well, your lawyer's 3 days out of law school. I don't think he has a lot of experience doing car wreck cases in 3 days. So whether you hire a big firm or a little firm, hire a lawyer who does a lot of whatever it is you're needing. In our case here, car wreck.
Mhm. So I guess it's fair to say that not every attorney is the same, and when you're picking out a personal injury lawyer to represent you in your case, you should do your due diligence. What sort of questions should I ask the personal injury attorney during our initial consultation?
Sure, great question. Ask what's the attorney's fee here? Is it going to be a third, 40%? God forbid, 45%? Um, do you front case costs as money has to be spent to progress a case forward? Do you advance those costs? Have you ever hired an accident reconstructionist to help you prove what took place? Have you ever hired an independent medical evaluator to help you understand all the harms and injuries that occurred to your client? Have you ever hired a vocational economist to help figure out how the injuries your client has sustained is going to affect them into the future and their ability to earn money? You want the answers to those questions to be yes, yes, and yes, which shows that this attorney does a lot of automobile wreck and knows how to assemble a team of experts who are going to be able to fully explain, expound upon, and show what took place in this automobile wreck, how it affected your life, and how it's going to affect your life.
Mhm.
You want some attorney who knows how to put together that team of experts who are able to check those three boxes.
Yes, of course, of course. I guess my next question would be, when you're meeting with that personal injury attorney, even if you decide not to hire that attorney, is your meeting with that attorney confidential?
Yes, the initial meeting with an attorney is covered by the attorney client privilege. And so if you meet with the attorney and they're not your cup of tea, you don't like them, you hired a firm thinking you were going to get one attorney and you got another attorney. Each of those attorneys that you're meeting with, and then you decide to move on to another firm, they that is attorney client privilege communication. That is confidential.
Okay. So, for instance, let's say that I went to attorney A, didn't like attorney A, but had that initial consultation, explained my side of the story, felt like we weren't a great fit. I went to attorney B, but then the person that I was in a collision with ended up wanting to go to attorney A. Um,
Mm,
is that possible? Can they do
no,
that?
no, it is not. Um, if you do enough of this work, it happens. If you do enough of this work, that does happen to us here at Queener Law. You have to keep track of who you talk to and who who doesn't hire you, so that when someone else comes who is in the same wreck, you don't accidentally, you don't accidentally start a representation of somebody who you cannot. So it does happen, and no, it's not allowed. You can't talk to one person and say, no, I can't help you, and then the other person show up and go, well, yeah, I can help you. Can't do it.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, what can someone expect during that initial consultation with the personal injury attorney?
Well, gathering a lot of information and signing a lot of documents, because
Hmm.
if car wreck is what you do, then you're nailing it. And you already know in advance all the information you're going to need and all the documents you're going to need signed as the attorney from the very start of each case. And so you're going to be, providing a lot of information to get that attorney started. And then after that, you can breathe that sigh of relief knowing that this isn't going to be haunting you every day. The insurance company's not going to be calling every day. You're not having to run out and get yet another document the insurance company said you needed for your claim. But that first meeting will be gathering a lot of information from you and getting your signature on a lot of documents so that we can take the ball and run from there and don't have to be bothering you on a daily basis to move this claim forward.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of great information, Henry. Thank you so much. I want to be respectful of your time. But thank you again for coming on today's episode of The Influential Experts and sharing your invaluable insights on car wrecks and how attorneys can help car wreck victims navigate the complexities of their car wreck case. For our listeners, we hope you found this discussion informative, insightful. And if you did, please let us know by liking, commenting, and sharing this episode with others. And if you live in Colorado, Kentucky, or Tennessee, and have been injured in an accident and you need representation, visit Queener Law to schedule your free consultation with a personal injury attorney today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.